Alright TM Nation, what you're looking at is a pair of the brand new Skullcandy push active true wireless earbuds. I've had my pair for about a week now, and for exercise buds, these are a solid all around pair. I mean, the battery life is good at up to 10 hours on a single charge. They are compatible with the new and improved Skullcandy app, and like the Grind Fuel earbuds that I did a review and unboxing on not too long ago, these are also compatible with the Skull IQ functionality, which gives you total control over your earbuds without having to use the actual physical buttons. The best thing about this feature is it works no matter what type of device you're using. If you have an iPhone, you're good, and likewise if you're on the Android side of the house, they got you covered as well. But all of that being said, guys, I know a lot of you want to know how these compare to the Push Ultras, which I was never a big fan of. I still do have my pair, as you can see, and in all honesty, I've probably only used them about 10 times since I bought them about a year ago. So I will make reference to them throughout the video where there are notable differences so that you guys can make a more informed buying decision. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that the push active earbuds are $20 cheaper than the Ultras at the time of the video, and while they do perform better in some areas, the Ultras do maintain a couple of features that you do not get with the active earbuds. That being the case, if you're trying to decide between the two, you're gonna want to watch the whole video before you go ahead and pull the trigger and purchase either pair. Starting with the unboxing experience with the actives, there isn't too much to it. Inside you get your user manual and quick start information, a USB Type-C cable for charging, 2 sets of different sized ear tips, and of course your earbuds along with the charging case. Taking a look at the case, the design for me is fine. The active case is going to be slightly smaller than the Ultra case, but both are going to bulge out a little bit in most pockets. The case for the actives does have 4 LED lights in the front of it that will illuminate to show you the battery status whenever you open or close it. Besides that, all that you really have is your Skullcandy branding on the top and the USB Type-C charging port in the back. One major difference that you have in between the cases is the Push Ultra case does support wireless charging while the active case does not. And overall, guys, the case for the Ultras is just more premium in design. The active case is a little bit more minimalistic. Battery life wise, as I mentioned earlier, you can get up to 10 hours on a single charge with the active earbuds, and you'll be able to throw them back into the case a few extra times for a total usage of up to 44. The Push Ultras, on the other hand, will give you about 40 hours worth of total use and 6 hours on a single charge. With the active earbuds, I was able to get 9 hours and 48 minutes on a single charge, using them between 50 and 75% of the max volume most of the time. With the Push Ultras, the maximum I've been able to get out of them is 5 hours and 39 minutes. So if battery life is your main concern, then the actives are definitely gonna get the edge here, but it is important to note that both pairs do support rapid charging, which will give you about 2 hours of use off of just 10 minutes in the charging case. Moving on and taking a look at the design of the Push Active earbuds, they do have the ear hooks, as you can see, and overall I think they look fine. The hooks are flexible so that you can wrap them around your ears without worrying about the earbuds falling out, but they don't mold around your ears like what you'll get with the Ultras. The hooks on the Ultras can be bent in pretty much any direction, and they will stay there until you bend them back. If being discreet is your thing, then neither of these earbuds are going to be able to achieve that with the ear hooks and the way that they stick out a bit. Unless you have hair coming down and blocking your ears, you're not going to be able to hide them from anyone. But I have to say that both pairs feel fine in my ears. Neither feels overly large or overly heavy. For me personally, I like the fit that I get with the actives a little bit more than what I get with the Ultras. With the Ultras, you do not have the option to change out the ear tips. They do have that open style design, so if they don't provide a snug fit for you, you're pretty much out of luck. The actives, on the other hand, do not have that open style, and you can switch out the ear tips to ensure that you get a snug seal. For me, the ability to switch out the ear tips makes a world of difference in between the two. This definitely impacts the overall sound quality and the comfort. I've also used both pairs for exercise, and they both did great in this area, as to be expected. I had no issues keeping them in my ears for jogging while on the elliptical or jumping rope. And sweat does not cause them to slide around in my ears at all. They stay planted relatively well. One difference that you have in between the two here is that the Ultras have an IP67 waterproof design, while the Actives on the other hand have an IP55 water resistance rating. Both will do just fine against splashes of water and sweat, or if you happen to get caught out in the rain with them, you'll be okay. But if you're going to be swimming or doing anything that requires you to be in water for a while, your best bet is going to be the Ultras. Concerning the leakage that you'll get with both pairs, they are going to leak some sound like most true wireless earbuds, but considering that they both get adequately loud at max volume, it isn't terrible in my opinion. As always, I did do my leakage test so that you guys can judge for yourselves. Let's check it out. As far as the Bluetooth connection, the Actives are going to give you Bluetooth 5.2 and the Ultras are using 5.0. With both pairs, I have been able to maintain a stable and pretty much lag-free connection with both my iPhone 13 Pro and my Galaxy Z Flip 3. Now, there is some noticeable lag if you're going to be doing some hardcore gaming, as neither pair has a dedicated gaming mode. If you're going to be playing a first-person shooter or anything of that nature, you will notice some lag, but it is not unplayable. But I have also watched quite a few YouTube videos and some Amazon Prime movies on both pairs of earbuds, and everything seemed to be pretty synced up. As far as the playback controls on the Actives and the Ultras, both pairs use physical buttons, so if you don't like touch controls, they got you covered. One difference that you have in between the two is that the Ultras have 3 buttons on each earbud, while the Actives only have 1. You also should not feel like you're jamming the Actives down into your ears, as the buttons are on the bottom. They don't put any pressure directly down into your ears like the pause and play buttons that are located on the sides of the Push Ultras. You do have access to all of your playback controls with both pairs, but you do not get the ability to customize them through the app with the Ultras. You also don't have access to the new Skull IQ functionality with the Ultras, so if that feature is something you're looking for, only the Grind Fuels and the Actives support it at this moment. In all honesty, guys, I have used this feature on both my Grind Fuels and on my Actives, and I have yet to figure out a way to make it work 100% of the time. Sometimes I will say, "Hey Skullcandy," and it will pick up my feedback, and other times the assistant will just be completely unresponsive. I've tried it out with the Skullcandy app open and closed. With the app open, it seems to work a little bit better, but the way that Skullcandy has marketed this feature, I should be able to have my phone in my pocket, say "Hey Skullcandy," and followed by that, I should get the chime through the earbuds letting me know that the voice assistant is ready to execute my playback function. I do hope that they come out with an update to make this feature more consistent, because it is dope when it works, but right now, if I had to estimate, I would say that it only works about 60 to 75% of the time. Hey Skullcandy, volume up. Hey Skullcandy, volume down. Hey Skullcandy, pause. And while I'm on the topic of the Skullcandy app, like I mentioned earlier, the Ultras are not going to benefit from the new features that the Actives have. With the Ultras, you really can't do that much inside of the app besides see the battery life left on your earbuds and change the different EQs. Unfortunately, with the Ultras, you cannot create your own custom EQ. You can only choose from the music, podcast, or movies EQ. The actives, on the other hand, do allow you to create your own custom EQ. It is worth noting that at the time of the video, the actives do not support the feature where the app will create an EQ for you based on your hearing. This is a feature that you get inside of the app with the grind fuel, so maybe it will come to the actives in the future, but right now it's unavailable. Besides that, you can access quick start information with both pairs while you're on the go. You can also track both pairs via the Tile app if you want to, but one feature that you don't get with the Ultras that you do have access to through the actives is the ambient mode, which they call stay aware. This allows you to hear more of what's going on around you, and it does work well in my opinion. You can also set your playback controls to toggle it on and off. So specs and features out of the way, guys, let me touch on the sound quality, and I'm gonna make this simple. There is no comparison. The actives sound way better than what you'll get with the Push Ultras in my opinion. Like I said in my original video, it does not matter which EQ I put my Ultras on, they always sound tinny and airy. I do not get that sound with the actives. Out of the box, the actives sounded okay. They didn't blow me away, but once I went in and created my own EQ, they really came to life. The highs and mids are crisp and clear. They have a really warm sound signature, so I have no issues hearing those background instruments or vocals. And of course, these are Skullcandy earbuds, so that bass is there. I have no issues with the low end. They give you that deep, punchy sub bass. Overall, guys, like I said, there's no comparison in between the two. In my opinion, I would pick the actives 10 times out of 10. I've been able to use them for podcasts, for movies, for music, of course, and I've enjoyed all of it. Now, both pairs do have built-in mics for voice calls, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, neither pair is crystal clear, but the actives certainly sound better in my opinion. But as always, I will include samples for you guys so that you can judge for yourselves. Let's take a listen. Okay guys, so right now I have the Push Actives paired to my iPhone 13 Pro. The audio that you're hearing right now is coming directly from the microphones on the earbuds. I am not going to do any type of editing to this audio, so this should give you a pretty good idea of how these will perform during voice calls. Alright guys, so right now I have the Push Ultras paired to my iPhone 11. The audio that you're hearing is coming directly from the microphones on the earbuds. This is completely unedited audio, so this should give you an idea of how you'll sound if you use these for voice calls. All in all, fam, if you like Skullcandy's sound signature and you're looking for exercise earbuds, I suggest you go for the Push Actives and leave the Ultras alone. Like I said earlier, the sound quality that you're able to achieve with the Actives is much better than what you can get with the Ultras. The Actives are also going to give you better battery life and more functionality through the Skullcandy app. Not only that, like I mentioned earlier, the Actives are $20 cheaper at $79.99, and for the $99 price tag, the only upsides that I can see with the Ultras are the more premium case and wireless charging. But even with the Push Actives missing those features, they're still an easy win for me. Before you get on out of here, if you rock with the channel and your boy Tech Mo, hit that subscribe button and knock that notification bell out so you won't miss any of my uploads. Welcome to TM Nation. Peace.